last week you were here, you said you wanted OG to be meaner defensively. Do you want to be meaner offensively like you might have been tonight?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he can be mean, but if he can do what he did tonight, we'll be all right. So it's about time, man. I think that's what everybody been waiting on. So, string them together. Now the next step is just consistency, and that's I think what we're all chasing to be is great on every night, every other night basis. So he's been incredible. It's great to see and just be there to keep encouraging them and keep pumping them with confidence because we're going to need that for the rest of the year.
I know your night didn't start as well as you probably wanted it, but it ended. I think you made 6 of your last 8 shots or something like that. Was that just getting the rust off and the timing back and that kind of stuff? Or
yeah, I still feel so. Just when you're sick and you wake up and you feel better than the day before, you think you're 100%. So it took all about 3 minutes before I realized I wasn't 100% yet, but just happy to be back playing and just that was a lot of fun tonight. It was a competitive game. The Heaters are always fun to play against. They do a lot of the same things we do. We have tremendous respect for them. So it was just a fun night, and we were able to come out with the win.
What have since the game you played in Oklahoma City, what have those days been like?
It's probably been a full week now. I wasn't feeling the greatest in the Houston game. Travel, obviously, it gets worse and worse, and got myself ready to play in the OKC, and that was probably, the last of the energy that I had left. So all my tests came back negative. I was happy about that, but I think everyone I've talked to in the world is just the worst cold that we've had, right? And nobody's really had a cold in 2 years because we've been wearing masks. So it was my turn, and, I hope that everybody can avoid it because it wasn't fun. But hopefully, the worst is behind me, and just happy to be back with the group.
Nice bounce back from Scottie tonight. What's been the message to him over the last few games as he's sort of been dealing with a bit of a shooting slump?
There's no message, man. You guys have fun on Twitter. That's about it. Other than that, everybody goes through it. There's highs, there's lows, there's good games, there's bad games. He's finding his way, and just got to continue to keep working and keep playing. Nobody around here is worried about him. We know how great of a player he's going to be. There's not any young player I would trade him for, and the sky's the limit for him. So whether that's tomorrow or in a couple of years, we'll see. The rest is up to him and how much work he puts in and how he approaches the game. But he'll be fine. It's just everyday banter when you got to dissect every possession and every play. And I didn't really even realize that was a narrative until I was sitting at home watching the game, watching the Detroit game. But yeah, it's a little overblown. He's got to get to it. Obviously, he can play better. We all know that. But as far as trying to make a conclusion about him as a player, I think it's pretty ridiculous.
We talk a lot about how you and Siakam make life easier on Scottie when you are in the lineup, right? But how much easier does he make it on you when he is playing with the kind of energy that he brought tonight, and he's just kind of all over the floor on both ends?
Yeah, well, you guys know how aggressive I am, so any type of aggression, I welcome that with open arms. I think that's what the game is about. You got to play with that fire and that passion and just impose your will, whatever that is for your game. And for him, you could see it from the jump ball, pushing the tempo, pushing the pace, getting his body downhill, making plays for himself and for others. And when he does that, we're a better team. Now, again, everybody goes through different things to where it may not be there on a night-to-night basis. You just got to find out how to do that. Everybody has gone through it. He's 21 years old, I think. So he'll find his way. But I was happy to see him, more aggressive tonight.
Do you like going up against Kyle, or is it too frustrating having you two going at it?
No, it's funny. It's funny for me. I don't get fried. And there's nothing he could do that would frustrate me. It's annoying when he tricks the refs, but other than that, it's just fun watching him still do what he does, and I thought he was old 3 years ago, so to see him still kicking and making an impact and putting pressure on the defense, and just you could just see, the greatness in him, and it's just fun to match up against him, and just, he keeps you working, keeps your mind, you got to be attentive at all times. It's just a fun chess match.
Right, you said at one point last year that you and Kyle still talk to each other pretty much every day. What are those conversations like these days? Because last year a lot of it was kind of figuring out what the Raptors looked like without him, and sort of what do you guys talk about on a regular basis these days?
It's not really none of your business, but since you asked, I don't know. We talk about all type of things, life, family, everything. We talk basketball. He watches all of our games, believe it or not. I watch as many games of them as I can stomach. I'm a Kyle fan. I'm not really a Heat fan, but yeah. We talk. We talk about everything, and he's helping me through obviously this transition of me, running the show now, being here, and I always lean on him for advice, and he's always there in my corner to help me, and vice versa. So I don't know if you talk to somebody every day, every other day, like I don't know, what do you talk to your best friend about? Exactly. There you go. Everything.
When he starts in the fourth quarter there, when he starts trying to basically will the team to that win or a win, what's he like verbally? Like, is it jacked up? Like, is it more than it was earlier?
He's always jacked up. I don't know. I haven't really seen him like zoned out of a game maybe a handful of times that I've ever seen him in 7 years. So he was pretty into it. He was trying to figure it out, but we were able to come out with the win. So I think he accepted that it wasn't going to go his way after he's trying to get a call reviewed or something like that. So once the refs don't let him trick him, we're in good shape.
Fred, with that, you always expect him to make all these smart plays. What's it do for the team when you see him diving for a loose ball?
Who's that? That. Oh, man, he does everything. He's one of those guys that you just could, if you were trying to teach a young guy how to play, you just say, watch that. Watch him every possession. He tries to do everything the right way. He's, attention to detail and the way he executes the game plan. He's physical. He's down there banging, getting rebounds, and he lays his body on the line, super unselfish. And just a great guy to have on your team, especially with guys trying to figure it out. So he's been incredible for us over this last week, and somebody that we can continue to lean on. Obviously the young fella's going to be up and down, but so to have a steady hand like that is big for us.
To go from not getting minutes in DMPs earlier this season to contributing the way he is now, how much of a lesson is that for young guys who are maybe trying to crack the rotation?
Yeah, it's just experience and knowing that your time's going to come and you can't, jump off a bridge. I won't say he wasn't frustrated, but, he was still there. He was still, coming in, getting his work in and being locked into the group and trying to help the guys. And I think, when you're older, it's easier for you to accept the role that you're in and just understand what that is, and something that he's done for 16 years now. So it's a great lesson for a lot of these young guys that we try to turn into superstars right away, but there's a lot of roles that need to be filled throughout the league, and that is a great example of that.
Scottie, looked like you were taking what the defense was giving you early in the game. Those jumpers, knocked down a few of them early. How much does that help from a confidence standpoint to see ball go through the net early in the game like that?
I feel like I always really try to start the game aggressive, but of course it feels really good when some shots start to fall, give you more energy, more juice, So I feel like it's a great feeling to start the game making shots, being able to get things going. I feel like it's been better. It felt really good.
Sorry, go ahead. Is it the type of thing where if you see one or two fall, you'll keep on going with it, and if not, it's like time to find something else? Or
no, I feel like no matter what the solution is, I'm always keep trying to play harder, try to get it back at the next play. Just keep trying to stay aggressive, stay confident, keep trying to do what I work on. I feel like I work on my game a lot, so everybody always try to tell me to stay confident, be who I am on the floor, try to bring energy. Shots not falling, try to find a different way to do things, but eventually today it was falling.
Scottie, when you're waiting that kind of take a jumper or drive, are you more so focused on your defender and how much space he's giving you, or are you more so looking at the second line of defense when you make that decision?
I don't really know. I'm just playing the game. If I see somebody in the gap really heavy, I'm just making reads. If I see somebody drawing from the corner, I'm trying to find different things. Whatever different defense is giving me, it's really what I'm trying to. That's what I'm taking. Most of the time, I'm really trying to get to the rim, really be aggressive, start off there, and then try to get everything going from there.
With Siakam out and also Fred out for some of these games, Trent, like a lot more has been on your shoulders these past few games. Do you embrace that challenge of having to do more, especially offensively, or has it gotten frustrating at times to just be asked to do so much?
I don't think it's been frustrating at all. Of course, I'm going to really embrace it, be who I am on the floor, feel like I can Of course, the ball's in my hand a little more when those two are out, but just trying to take the game how it is, trying to make the right reads, trying to really be aggressive every time I get it. Just trying to do the right things when I'm out there on the floor. I don't say I back down from it. I really embrace it, like I said.
Scottie, I know you're a confident guy, and it's something that Thad was talking about the other day too, that confidence doesn't really waver. But how much does it help to have vets like Thad or Fred or Pascal to sort of kind of help keep you balanced here during a bit of a shooting slump?
I would say I feel like it's a big thing. I remember on the road, Pascal, Fred telling me, stay being aggressive, be grateful. Them boys giving me the confidence when I'm out there on the floor. I feel like that's a big thing. I feel like I really took that to heart. Them boys texting me, they're at home doing what they're trying to do to get better. They're at home telling me that. I feel like that's a big thing. Thad telling me to keep being aggressive, don't take things, keep the pressure on your shoulders. I feel like that's a big thing. Everybody just giving me that confidence from the coaches to the players, having that support staff around me. I feel like that's helpful.
I know you've tweaked the ankle a few times over the last few weeks. Is that something that's been bothering you at all?
No, not at all.
Scottie, like a lot of people on the outside look at things a little differently because it's your second year. So, you had slumps last year. No one made a big deal of it because everything was so new. Do you look at yourself a little differently? Like, are your own expectations a little higher? And so if you go through a rough patch, you handle it a little differently than you did a year ago.
I don't know. I feel like my rookie year went kind of smooth. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, of course, I feel like the first thing is taking on the challenge. You can see that I'm in a bit of a shooting slump. I realize that, I recognize that, but just trying to stay confident, get through it, keep trying to be aggressive, trust your work, trust your craft. I feel like that's what's going to really get me through it every single day. Don't try to really get down on myself. Just trying to just push through it. What you work on is going to show. I feel like the work always going to show.
Scottie, what are the main things you're learning with your reps at the point this year, say, compared to last year, especially now with Pascal?
I would say I'm still figuring things out. Say, recognizing throughout film. I feel like we've been having some tough third quarters. Just recognizing when and where that momentum changes, what I can do better in those situations. I feel like that's one of the key things you can see I'm still learning out there. Just trying to find those pinpoints of what I can do differently, how I can get us into offensive set better, trying to make those right plays. I feel like I'm still learning, and with the more reps I get, I'm just getting better. I feel like I'm making great reads when I'm out there on the floor. But like I said, I'm still getting better.
Christian, what did you make of the game today? Just give me your overall thoughts on the performance. Obviously, you guys came out to win. Heat is a very tough team to play, as you know. That's your first one in the NBA with them.
Yeah, we played a pretty good game. I think we're down by like 6 at halftime. We came back. We kind of responded good. I think we had like a 22-0 run, so it really helped us. And we just played as a team, and we got some stops, and we got the win. So that's the most important.
You had a few nice lobs. Is that something that is kind of becoming a staple in your game? Do you like it when the coach draws up that type of play for you? Is that kind of an easy one for you?
I mean, I don't think it was really any play that was drawn. It was just we play pick and roll. Even if it's Scottie, Freddie, Malachi, I know they're gonna find me, so I just gotta set a good screen. And every time I'm open, I'm just expecting the ball, and I'm gonna go get it. So every time that happens to me, I'm happy.
You had a really nice block on the perimeter today. Is that something that, I guess coach has been continuously encouraging, just keep on swinging at those? He told media that that's something that he wants to focus really on as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons. I think that's one of the reasons they drafted me, because I'm somebody. I said I'm capable of switching on the perimeter. So every time I switch on the guard, they're expecting me to do a pretty good job. And that one, I think, was the end of the clock. So I knew he was going to shoot it. So I was kind of ready for him to go up and just block his shot. But I feel like I still got to get better on it when I switch on the guard. Just trying to make a good job and trying to either make him shoot it or make him drive it and contest at the ring. But I'm still working on it. So we're gonna see.
What does it mean to see your teammate like OG just have such an incredible night?
Man, OG has been really big for us the whole year. He's been force on defense, a force on offense. He just does everything. He just does everything. And when he got a game like this, I feel like it's just a reward for all the hard work he be putting. So I think he's gonna continue to have big games like this, and I'm excited to see it.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
All right, Juancho, so far you've been getting some solid minutes. Obviously, the injury list is long, but what's been your takeaways on the court so far?
I mean, I'm just so happy to play. I just try to help the team as much as I can. Try to do my job, do my role, try to bring the energy. And I'm just happy we get the win. So on the next one, long season, a lot of games, in and out guys, we gotta keep it rolling.
So you talked to me about just the importance of like your game in terms of like, yeah, you're gonna look for your shot, but it's also important to find your teammates as well. Do you mind going into that and like your mentality on like, your passing ability? Because Coach Nick Nurse also brought it up too.
I mean, some games the shots are gonna be there. Some games we gotta keep passing the ball. I gotta read whatever the game it is. If I see somebody open, I'm gonna pass the ball. If I feel like I can shoot, I will shoot it. Just stay aggressive. Today was a different day. I mean, I didn't get any shot, but I tried my best on defense and try to bring the energy. It's gonna be games like that, and it's gonna be games that you make some shots. Just keep it going.
And then when you see your teammates like OG and Anunoby just having a great game on both sides of the ball, how happy are you for him?
A lot. I mean, he gotta be our leader. If his skills is not on the game or is not available, Freddie too, Scottie. I mean, we got a lot of guys can step up and get the win for us, but we gotta do it collectively. We a team, and that's really important. Todd make a great job today. Everybody who step on the court got a big impact.
What do you think allowed you to string together so many stops in that third quarter when the 21-0 run sort of turned the game around? Did you do anything differently, or what got your defense sort of locked in?
Yeah, we did. We switched our coverages and our matchups. And then they took a timeout, and we switched to a third thing that we hadn't used yet, and that kind of kept that streak going. I think it was 13 straight stops. Ties the record. Yeah, that was it. That got us going. We found we were searching for some way to stop, get them stopped, and we found a couple things.
In OG's offensive game, he was at the rim, he made some shots, he drove it, he kicked it. Like what?
Well, there's exactly right what we're talking about, and that's just again getting in the situation, and we did work on a few things pre-game, of addressing that late game a little bit with him, and it's always a little tricky because you don't know how they're going to match up, etc. So they were moving it around a little bit too, so we had to kind of keep adjusting to that. But no, he just. He wanted the ball, he controlled it, he made moves, he made pass outs, all the stuff you got to do when you're the go-to guy.
You were talking before the game about wanting Scottie to get to the rim more. He did it in the second half. In the first half, it looked like he was taking what the defense was giving him, knocked down a few jump shots. Does that sort of help him from a confidence standpoint early in a game?
Yeah, I mean, I just want him to be aggressive, and you're right. He came out feeling really good about his jump shot, obviously, and they're giving him space. But you're right. I liked how he worked his way inside there a lot late too. Did some good cutting and found some seams in the zone. They were playing quite a bit of zone. He found some seams there at the basket. Yeah, he had good reads.
How much do you think having Fred back helps him as well? It looks like those two are playing pretty well off of each other in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps. I mean, Fred obviously is helping organize a lot out there. That certainly is a big part of what's going on in a game like this. Who's spacing where, who's setting, who's handling all that stuff, and it's good because again, I think with Scottie playing a good portion of point guard while Fred is out. Now we've got some more things we can do when Scottie handles and get Fred off the ball. And I thought Fred had a really good game. He found a couple sets on his own there where he got OG, kind of curling down the lane, and he just kind of kept going to that. And they had trouble until they went small, and then they were switching it, so we couldn't quite take advantage of that anymore. But those are great reads and calls by him.
Nick, how do you feel about those mid-range shots from Scottie? They're probably against your rule book from years ago when you were in the G League, but maybe you've changed a little bit since then?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I want him to have some freedom to be aggressive, so I'm going to probably, go with that. I think it's when he's feeling good like that and he's hit one or two, then you're going to probably let him go on those, right? And I think if he doesn't hit them, he probably needs to, attack the paint or do something else. But I'm okay. I'm glad he come out aggressive.
You've had a few games like this year where there's a huge opponent turnover number, but also a pretty good field goal percentage from the opponent. Is that a trade-off you're willing to live with? Obviously, you'd like to do both, but is that an acceptable trade-off?
I mean, I think that's a little bit how we're going to play, right? I mean, I think you look at that and you say, oh, geez, 55%, and they make 13 threes to your 7. How do you win a game like that? Well, all you got to do is look at the total field goal attempts, right? And that just is so many more possessions that you got. And that's just, again, a little bit of our style, I think.
But I assume there is. How much do you see as an area to grow when you aren't forcing those turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we are getting close at covering some of that stuff up, right? I think we're just a half count or a full count late at getting back to blocking some of those shots at the rim. I think we had a game, maybe it was Chicago or something, when we were pretty much in rotation the whole night because of our scheme, and everybody was really quick and energetic and getting back there. I think if I could see some improvement, it would be probably Christian and Chris getting their count sooner so they're not committing those little tap fouls. I think their shot block, I think they should be getting some of those, and that would probably help the field goal percentage defense a little bit.
After the Houston game, we talked about OG's driving, and you said you loved how deep he was getting, all the attempts, but he could do more to spring up and finish. It seemed like tonight that was almost prophetic.
Yeah, I think he's gone to more power and balance than he has than skill. Right, I think he was doing a lot of Euro stepping and trying to avoid, and I think he's just gone in there and gotten big and strong, and I think it's enabled him to get clearance. He's a really good 2-foot jumper, as we know, and I think it gives him a better chance to see out as well. And he made a huge play out, to kind of seal the game, I think.
Any word on Delano?
Yeah, ankle. They said it wasn't too good, but I don't get an official report.
Coach, I'm sorry to ask him.
It's all right.
Ask how he came out again.
Yeah.
But Juancho has been the player with a better plus minus, with a bit better plus minus. What is your opinion about his performance today, especially in defense? No?
Yeah, that's that doesn't surprise me. That's kind of his game. A lot I talk about, you don't really have to have a great shooting night to have such an impactful performance, and he has a plus or minus of 17. And what he's really good at, which we needed tonight, is he chases shooters. Like when they're flying around, he's chasing them, right? He had a little trouble on the ball here and there, but the rest of his defense is good. He chases shooters. He knows the schemes. He blocks out. So I thought he was a key. He was in that stretch of all those stops. I believe he was in for all 13 of those, so he must have been doing something right.
Coach, when you guys brought in Thad last year, there was kind of some talk about how you wanted him to be here for a little bit, and not just last year. And obviously he's stuck around. What can you say about just his consistency and just how he's been able to slot in different parts of the lineup?
Well, he's been huge, right? I mean, I think that, again, you've heard me talk about, you guys are asking me who's going to play, what's the rotations, and I said we're going to need everybody, right? He didn't play much there for a while. He had a few DNPs, and, I went to talk to him right after his first DNP and said, hey, listen, just it's gonna come around. He goes, he was total pro. He said, I know it is, and I would just say that his engagement and what he looks like out there, he looks fresh and in shape, and he's moving good, and he's doing a lot that he just looks like he belongs out there, and he's a really effective player. So that to me is the best part. I think he looks like fresh as a daisy out there, which is good.
That more or less looked like the Kyle you're familiar with out there?
It was tough. He was trying to will him. He was trying to will him to a win. That's for sure. He was tough, man.